Breakout Candidates. One player from each NFC team poised for a star turn. Breakout Candidates. One player from each NFC team poised for a star turn. The hope for every NFL team ahead of each season always comes down to one truth: the belief that they have a player or players who will finally exceed their expectations. Someone, they think, is about to become a star, and they believe the whole team will be carried along for the ride. So who's primed to break out in 2026?
Tired of constantly refilling your pet's water bowl? This filtered fountain keeps water circulating and offers a generous capacity, giving cats and small dogs convenient access to flowing water. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/5 right now.
Some have flown way under the radar. Here are 16 breakout candidates, one for each NFC team. NFC East. His career has been a disaster of injuries, from a torn ACL keeping him out as a rookie to another one prematurely ending his second season and ruining his third. But in between, Overshown did have 5 sacks in 13 games in 2024, where he showed off his speed and explosive playmaking ability. Presumably healthy now, the 6'2", 220-pound linebacker could be a star on a Dallas defense that needs one with Micah Parsons now long gone, especially with a rebuilt defensive line playing in front of him. Overshown has the sideline-to-sideline skills the Cowboys have been lacking of late. Stroud is good enough, Packers under pressure, Cowboys Super Bowl contenders. FTF, there were huge expectations for the number 3 overall pick of last year's draft, but his headline numbers didn't match them. He didn't have his first full sack until week 13 and finished with just 4 overall. But buried behind that disappointing total were 23 quarterback hits and, according to PFF, 66 quarterback pressures, which led all rookies. Those are huge numbers, which indicate there's a lot more to come. He still has fellow pass rushers Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeaux to draw attention, and a new defensive coordinator in Dennard Wilson to presumably find better ways to use him. Double digits in sacks wouldn't be a shock for Carter. When Howie Roseman traded 5th and 6th round picks for Wicks this offseason, it looked like a depth move for a team that was about to trade AJ, but it could end up being a lot more than that. Yes, Devonta Smith is the Eagles' number 1 receiver, and first-rounder Mackay Lemon is the favorite to be no. But Wicks could put up a fight for that spot in the short term. He was underused in Green Bay, despite catching 60% of the balls thrown his way and averaging 12.3 yards per catch. He's also only 25, so his best might still be in front of him. Lemon has more upside, but Wicks has the experience and played in the system new offensive coordinator Sean Mannion is bringing with him from Green Bay. Wicks will have a chance to help fill Brown's shoes, especially early in the season. Daniel Jones will pick up where he left off. Eagles offense a concern heading into 2026 season. Eyes in Jaden Daniels' spectacular 2024 rookie season, 19% of his passes went to tight end Zach Ertz, who was his second leading receiver, 66.6 54.7. Ertz is gone now, replaced by the 26-year-old Okonkwo. He averaged 54.5 22.1 over the past 3 seasons for some bad Titans offenses. The Commanders do have a new offensive coordinator, David Bluff, but Daniels clearly loves to throw to his tight ends, and he doesn't have a lot of other great weapons to choose from in Washington anyway. All of that should mean an increase in workload for Okonkwo, who potentially has huge upside with a better quarterback. NFC North, he went a long way toward establishing himself as an elite tight end last season when he caught 58 passes for 713 yards and 6 touchdowns. But it's how he finished that truly showed off his potential. He exploded after catching just 11 passes for 116 yards over the first 6 games of his rookie campaign. In his final 4 games alone, including 2 in the playoffs, he had 28 catches for 378 yards and 2 touchdowns. If he even comes close to replicating that over a full season, he might be the NFL's top receiver at his position. The Bears do have Cole Kmet to take away a few catches, but Loveland is firmly established as Chicago's no. There aren't many more electric than him in the entire league. Colston Loveland looked like one of the best tight ends in the NFL as a rookie, particularly in the postseason. Photo by Michael Reeves/Getty Images. The Lions looked like they had a budding star in the middle of their defense in 2023 when McNeil had 5 sacks through the first 13 games and was proving to be a tough run stuffer. But then his season was derailed by a knee injury. The Lions still gave him a 4-year, $97 million extension, but the next year he had 3.5 sacks in 14 games before tearing his ACL. He's presumably healthier now than he has been in 3 seasons. And with a healthy Aiden Hutchinson and Tyleik Williams alongside him, the Lions' line could be more dangerous than ever. McNeil won't get a lot of attention from blockers, which could give him the room for his pass rushing numbers to shoot back up. The Packers didn't give the 2022 second-rounder a 4-year, $110 million contract in the offseason for more of the same from a player who's never topped 41 catches or 620 yards in any of his 4 NFL seasons. Nor would they have traded away Dontavian Wicks or let Romeo Doubs leave in free agency for a middling player. What they did was clear the deck for the 27-year-old to finally fulfill his promise in what surely will be a larger role. Matt LaFleur's offense has never been high volume for the passing game, and it has always encouraged spreading the ball around, save for some seasons involving Davante Adams. But there are fewer weapons for quarterback Jordan Love to target now, and Watson has the talent to be the best of the smaller bunch. The 23-year-old edge defender recorded 8 sacks last season, but even more was expected when the Vikings traded up to get him in the first round in 2024. He didn't do much as a rookie or in the first half of last season. But the former SEC Defensive Player of the Year had 6.5 sacks over the final 8 weeks of 2025, which could be a sign of things to come. The Vikings traded Jonathan Greenard to Philadelphia, clearing the way for the speedy Turner to be the top edge rusher in Brian Flores' blitzing scheme. If the second half of last season was any indication, he could eventually be one of the best pass rushers in the league. McCarthy Vikings QB battle, are the Falcons already in trouble? FTF NFC South, after picking off 13 passes in his final 2 seasons at Notre Dame, everyone knew Watts had ball-hawking instincts. The lone concern was whether he had the skills to do it in the pros. Well, there's no question now, after the 3rd-round pick had 6 picks in his rookie season and finished 4th in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. The only question now is, how high is his ceiling? Watts had 11 pass breakups, 96 tackles, and a fumble recovery as a rookie, showing he's got an all-around game. He has the potential to be a regular among NFL interception leaders and an anchor in the Atlanta secondary for a long time. He's competing alongside the reigning NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in front of him, Teteroa McMillan, and another former first-rounder, Xavier Legette. But there is still room to grow with the Panthers for this former undrafted rookie, 2024. The proof was in Coker's playoff outburst, a 9-catch, 134-yard, 1-touchdown performance in a first-round loss to Rams. Coker was actually already beginning to emerge over the final 5 games of the regular season, 19-44-3. And he's yet to drop a pass in his short career. The 6'3", 213-pounder likely opens the season as Carolina's 3rd receiver, but if quarterback Bryce Young continues to improve, Coker has a chance to put up sizable numbers in that role. That's why the 24-year-old just got a new 3-year, $55 million deal. He was the best rookie quarterback last season, even though the second-rounder started only 9 games for a bad Saints team. He put up some impressive numbers in those starts, completing 69.2% of his passes for 2,256 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. He also led the Saints to a 5-4 record, including a 4-1 finish that nearly got them into the playoffs. This offseason, New Orleans beefed up its offensive line with free agent guard David Edwards, drafted a first-round receiver, Jordan Tyson, and added a top free agent running back, Travis Etienne. In other words, the 26-year-old show is set up for even more success with offensive-minded head coach Kellen Moore again calling the plays. Playing in a bad division, Show could quickly emerge into a star. Is Tyler Show ready to take a leap after a surprisingly successful rookie season? Photo by Tyler Kaufman/Getty Images. He absolutely exploded onto the NFL scene as a rookie last year with 25 catches, 445 yards, and 5 touchdowns over his first 5 games. But he seemingly hit a wall after that and played himself right out of Rookie of the Year contention. He still finished with a respectable 63.9-30.86 stat line, but he was on pace for so much more as the centerpiece of the Bucs' passing game for much of the season given the injuries to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. No Buck had more targets, 127, yet Egbuka caught only 49.6% of those passes. Assuming he improves at getting into the right spots and finishing plays, he will have a chance to put up elite numbers, especially with Evans no longer in the picture. NFC West, he has 103 catches, 1,493 yards, and 12 touchdowns since the Cardinals drafted him. It's about what would be expected of him if that had come in one season instead of 2. Harrison, however, has been hampered by injuries and a terrible quarterback situation in Arizona. Entering year 3, well, hopefully his health has at least improved. If so, expect new coach Mike LaFleur to add some creativity to an offense surely built around this potentially dominant receiver. His numbers should spike, even if the Cardinals' QB situation remains a mess. He had 12 sacks last season, so maybe it could be argued that he already had his breakout season, and really, most of the powerful Rams already have. But last season, he was the big man on the edge of the LA defense. Now, opposing offenses will have to deal with Myles Garrett and perhaps Aaron Donald again. With the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year on the other end, it's safe to say Young won't see many double teams this year. He was already a top 10 pass rusher in most categories, and with Garrett drawing most of the attention now, Young's pressure rate and sack totals should only increase. 49ers Core's one last ride, Rams' depth issues, may follow up his second-place MVP season. FTF, he came into the NFL in 2024 with a reputation for locking down college football's best receivers, and late in his rookie season, he began to flash that potential. But last season was a step back for the former second-rounder, who wilted at times under the pressure created by the 49ers' lack of a pass rush. That rush should be better this season, and accordingly, the 25-year-old Green could be right back on track. He has the speed, physical style, and elite instincts to develop into one of the NFL's elite corners. For 3 seasons, the 6'1", 214-pounder has been the perfect handcuff in Seattle for Kenneth Walker III and a bruising option at the goal line. With Walker now in Kansas City, the 25-year-old Charbonnet is in prime position to be a bell cow back. The good news is, he has shown over the years he's more than capable of handling that. The bad news is, he's never really been asked to expand his role for more than a few games at a time. He's been fairly durable while averaging 4.1 yards per carry and has caught 82% of the passes thrown his way. Considering that 2026 first-round pick Jadarian Price had a limited role at Notre Dame, he's not really a threat to steal too many touches right off the bat. Don't be surprised if Charbonnet puts up Walker-like numbers as Seattle's unquestioned no.